LIU put on pause after 5 years. Over 500 former gang members will be left without work. You'll hear from the Home Affairs CEO. And 3 Honduran fishers busted fishing illegally in the Sapodilla Keys Marine Reserve. Also, vendors forcibly moved by police officers after not being allowed inside the Michael Finnegan Market. We'll take you out there. We've got details of these and all the stories in our newscast for tonight, Tuesday, May 26, 2026. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indira Craig.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
The Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing hereby advises the public of the commencement of works for temporary bridge crossings at 2 locations in Belize City. The first temporary bridge crossing is being constructed near the Belcan Bridge, extending between the Belize Water Services Limited (BWSL) parking lot on the south side and the vacant lot adjacent to the Save You store on the north side. Construction of a second temporary bridge crossing near the Swing Bridge between the Bottom Dollar parking area and Regent Street West is scheduled to commence during the week of May 18, 2026. Works at both locations generally include driving of foundation piles, placement of bridge girders, construction of reinforced concrete deck structures, associated marine and support works. To facilitate construction activities, barges and other marine equipment may be positioned within the Haulover Creek and may remain in place until work is completed. The temporary bridge structures are being constructed to maintain public access and traffic circulation during the planned reconstruction of the Swing Bridge and Belcan Bridge later this year. MIDH advises all mariners and users of the Haulover Creek that active construction zones will be in effect at both locations. As such, all marine vessels are hereby advised that a no-wake zone will be enforced for approximately 200 feet on either side of each construction area. Operators of marine vessels and all users of the Haulover Creek are asked to exercise caution when navigating through work zones, observe all posted signage and safety instructions, reduce speed and comply with no-wake restrictions, remain attentive to construction personnel and equipment, extend courtesy and cooperation with workers on site. The Ministry thanks the public and the maritime community for their patience, understanding, and cooperation as we work to modernize and improve the nation's infrastructure. For further information on the project, please contact the Project Execution Unit at 614-3195.
This Mother's May, celebrate the woman who makes the house feel like home all month long. Great deals like 15% off bathroom and kitchen fixtures from Moen, Hansgrohe, and Duraflow. Plus 15% off Hispasensa tiles, Stormguard windows, and 40% off Sunlight windows. And 15% off Berger paints and huge savings on clearance colors. So come in to Habet and Abet or Brothers Abet, call us or WhatsApp us today and make this Mother's May one to remember. Happy Mother's Day to all marvelous moms.
They're not just cigarette, vape, hookah, cigar, and all kind of tobacco product, Lego, dangerous smoke, and toxic chemical. When you smoke or vape, that cloud then not disappear. It turn into second-hand smoke and third-hand smoke where people wrong your breathing. That kind of smoke that could cause cancer, diabetes, lungs disease, or heart problems. It could kill anybody who get exposed to it. If you smoke or vape, go outside, far from people. Everybody deserves to breathe clean air.
The success of my business means a lot to my family, especially my brother, because I'm continuing his legacy, making butterfly art collages. It was very hard for me to receive payments. I had to go directly to meet the person I'm purchasing from and who I'm selling to receive payment. Because I opened my business account with Atlantic Bank, now I can make and receive payments online, and this has made my job much easier.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Save, save, save. The credit union way.
For 82 years, Holy Redeemer Credit Union has been making a difference in people's lives. Member owners, you are invited to attend the Holy Redeemer Credit Union 82nd Annual General Meeting. Join us on Saturday, May 30th at 2 p.m. sharp at the Belize Civic Center. Be present for your business meeting and hear important reports about the continued growth and strength of your credit union. Holy Redeemer Credit Union proudly boasts over 67,000 member owners, $876.1 million in total assets, $729.5 million in total savings, $146.6 million in total equity, and $31.7 million in total surplus. And this year, an impressive $26.7 million will be returned to member owners through dividends and rebates. Remember, to enter the venue, you must present your HRCU passbook and a valid ID. See you at the 82nd AGM of HRCU, Saturday, May 30th, 2 p.m. sharp at the Civic Center. Holy Redeemer Credit Union, making a difference in people's lives.
Save, save, save. It will make you rich someday.
Electricity is essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes its final journey from the distribution lines to your home, providing you with safe and reliable power when you need it. We continue to serve you.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Tonight, 523 persons are left displaced as the Leadership Intervention Unit has paused its work program. The program used to pay out $160,000 every 2 weeks. In its inception, the purpose of the work program was to create a comprehensive anti-violence and youth intervention strategy aimed at reducing gang violence, crime, and social instability among young people in Belize, especially in Belize City. Well, today we spoke with the CEO at the Ministry of Home Affairs, who explained that this work program was never supposed to become a form of full-time employment for these individuals. He added that the pause is necessary to reassess the program since many persons were collecting pay and not working.
So there are several reasons why we've reached to this point. One, there is a memorandum of understanding between the ministry and the Belize City Council that has been ongoing for over a year, that covers the framework for the LIU and its beautification program in Belize City, the work program. The MOU requires us to revisit this program after a year. It has been well over a year now, and it's time for us to take a look at the program to see its effectiveness. That's one. The second reason is because of the state of emergency that is currently ongoing. We believe that now is a good time to take stock of what we're doing in terms of our anti-violence programs in Belize City in particular. the work program that we're speaking about falls squarely within that. So due to the measures and the efforts of the state of emergency, the work program is one of those programs that currently has to go on at least a temporary halt for us to revisit those who are actually on the program and determine their suitability for them to continue on the program. Actually, there are quite a few personnel that got caught up in the SOE that are currently incarcerated there at the Kobe Foundation. So again, we cannot have these individuals benefiting financially whilst they're incarcerated from this program.
Would you say that this program served a purpose or it was a solution to what you guys were trying to achieve?
Indeed, the initial concept was for it to be an employment opportunity for at-risk youths and those who are looking for an alternative to a violent lifestyle. So that was the initial intention of the program. And indeed, there were some individuals who went on this program and were able to move on with their lives. But there are some that are still not in accordance with what we expect in terms of their behavior. And so this is the reason why we are revisiting the program now to determine if these individuals are suitable to continue on the program.
Many of these individuals don't have any other form of work outside of the LIU work program. How do you guys respond to that?
Well, the LIU program itself is not intended to be a lifelong employment for you. It is only to prepare you for advancement. For example, the LIU program offers trade schools, vocational development for youths. It also provides opportunities for young adults to be a part of the program and to develop life skills and then move on. The LIU programs are not intended to be a career provider for you for the rest of your adult life. You're supposed to be able to, after being on the program for a while, you're required to go off on your own. You should develop the necessary skills for you to start a business or for you to be marketable in some given area. So it's not an issue for us to take a pause on this program now, knowing that there are some individuals who are still on it. The program is not intended to be there to sustain you forever. As a matter of fact, we had a meeting yesterday with Minister and the team from LIU, along with the Commissioner of Police and a couple of advisors. What we're looking at now is to try to target younger persons, youths, who are currently at risk, and we don't want for them to fall back into the same trap. So it's moving the program to target individuals that we believe would benefit more.
The LIU will be starting projects that will benefit young people in targeted communities. And while we were speaking with the CEO, we asked about the current SOE in place and the fact that murders and shootings are still a problem in these areas. According to Bennett, even though we might see it that way, these statistics have been showing otherwise.
So this state of emergency is very different from previous, where this one is very targeted. We're looking for specific individuals based on the intelligence that we had received of possible violence by these individuals. And so it's very specific in targeting these individuals. What you've seen in the past was state of emergencies that would just round up large number of individuals and incarcerate them. You would appreciate that if you look at the violent crimes over the past few months, it's not concentrated in one geographic area. It's quite all over the country, really. So we're dealing with a very different wave of violence across the country. And so the SOE itself, by design, will only be able to address those geographic areas and then those who we're specifically targeting.
The SOE will expire on June 7th. 3 Honduran fishermen were busted fishing inside the Zapadilla Keys Marine Reserve last Friday at around 10:45 in the morning. They were caught during a routine patrol by Tide and the Belize Coast Guard. The fishermen were charged with engaging in commercial fishing in Conservation Zone 4, fishing without a valid fisher folk license, fishing without a valid vessel license, and possession of fish fillet without a skin patch. The men were fined $1,000 per person for each of the offenses, along with immigration-related fines of $1,005. Their vessel, engine, equipment, and marine products were confiscated as well. When we come back, we'll take you to the Michael Finnegan Market, where police officers were called out to remove vendors on market day. And Senator Glenfield Dennison is suing the police department after being held up at a checkpoint. You'll hear from him. These stories and more. Don't go away.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer Grey air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
The Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing informs the general public that works from Belize City to Hattieville under the George Price Highway Upgrading Project are actively progressing. The public is advised that business signs and roadside memorials located within the road reserve, including crosses and other commemorative markers, will need to be removed. We recognize the personal significance of these memorials and are committed to handling this process with the utmost respect and sensitivity. Removals must be completed by June 12, 2026 in preparation for construction works. Following the completion of the project, interested parties must reapply to the MIDH for the reinstallation of private signs within the road reserve. The Ministry sincerely appreciates the understanding and cooperation of the public as we work to improve the safety and quality of our highways. For further information on the project, please contact the Project Execution Unit at 614-3195 or 828-6007. 2026 marks a major milestone in the history of Belize's healthcare sector. The 25th anniversary of the National Health Insurance (NHI) program and the long-awaited national rollout of NHI services to the Cayo district, finally fulfilling a dream of primary healthcare coverage for all Belizeans. What started as an idea in 1998 became a reality in 2001 and has served thousands of Belizeans over the last 2.5 decades by providing access to quality healthcare, now in every corner of Belize.
One of the central pillars of NHI is access to quality health care.
All Belizeans will have access to quality hospital services through a national health insurance system.
It's a milestone that the whole country and all of the people of Belize, anyone who has a social security card, it's minimal out-of-pocket expenses, it's high-quality primary care. It allows almost all the population then to have the same level of health care wherever you are.
In 1998, the then Honorable Said Musa convened a group of us to work on the manifesto, and then a group of people in the medical field, and started brainstorming of how we could better healthcare for Belizeans.
The beginning can be traced to a study done by Cambridge Consultancy, where they produced a document on how to improve healthcare in Belize. One of the features of that study was the proposal that we have national health insurance.
As a matter of urgency, we will radically transform Belize's health system to ensure equitable access to quality health services.
It took a lot of courage to implement and begin the NHI. Prime Minister Musa made the bold decision to implement it.
So with a clear plan and vision for the future of Belize's healthcare sector, the NHI program was launched in Belize City's south side as a pilot project on August 9, 2001.
For the next 6 months, the 37,000 residents living on the south side of the Belize district will be able to receive free health care.
Prime Minister Said Musa, who cut the ribbon at today's opening, remains firmly committed to NHI.
It will involve, as you no doubt have heard, the participation of 4 primary care facilities, 3 eye care centers, 5 pharmacies, laboratories, and 3 imaging centers in a new partnership between the public and private sector health providers.
You can walk into a primary care provider clinic, you can seek a consultation with a general practitioner. If in the event that you need a prescription, they will give you a prescription, and then you have a choice of 5 pharmacies where you can get that medication prescribed free of charge.
And though the NHI embarked on a journey to transform the country's health sector, it was met with its fair share of challenges.
It was a new concept.
It was a new idea, a very, very new concept. It was difficult. We met resistance from everybody. It was a up and down situation for many years until we finally convinced the Prime Minister at the time we needed to do a pilot project to see how it would function. We got consultants and we started the pilot project in the south side of Belize City.
Despite any prior reservations, in the 25 years that have followed, NHI has grown from a pilot project focusing on the south side of Belize City to a national health plan felt as far and wide as Pachacan in the north and as deep south as Dolores in the Toledo district. Today, NHI provides invaluable primary health care to some of Belize's most vulnerable members of society. And as it commemorates 25 years of service and a full national expansion, NHI is ready to move into the next phase of service to the Belizean people, with over 225,000 residents currently registered to the program and expectations for that number to reach over 300,000 after full national coverage.
We have 80,000 people with valid Social Security cards in the Cayo district. So we expect them to be the ones that will come to register for NHI.
Under this current administration, the NHI program has reached new heights, especially with financing from the proceeds of the sale of Bolido to the Belize Government Lotteries Limited. And with no plans to slow down anytime soon, the sky is the limit for NHI as it endeavors to serve Belize for another 25 years and beyond.
The expansion at 25 years is awesome. It marks a milestone. I believe it's going to be a legacy of the PEP government in their effort and their endeavor to give quality care, access to care, and ensure that the people of Belize have what they deserve in terms of medical care.
Well, it's a milestone that the NHI is celebrating 25 years this year, 2026. Now that we have achieved this so far, I would want, or my vision would be that the same applies to secondary health care, that it be extended into the hospital services countrywide. And I hope it doesn't take another 25 years for that to happen.
The role of the social security system will be expanded to increase its contributions with the establishment of a national health insurance program.
I think NHI is forever. It's not gonna go. It might change. It should change. our communities change, so the way we serve them has to change. But the concept of NHI, the concept of having universal coverage of primary health care for our Belizean people is here to stay.
NHI, an enabler of quality health and wellness for all.
As a small business, I started to attend pop-up shops like many other businesses, and we found that our customers wanted to pay by card and not cash. I went to Atlantic Bank, and immediately, without a problem, it's like, yes, you can have a POS system. That POS system we now use in-house, and we can also take it countrywide wherever we are. They were willing to take the time, they were willing to be patient with us as we grew our business, and that, for us, that meant the world.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Paperworks Entertainment and SJ Promotion presents the official Belizean Jamaican Link-Up, the Father's Day edition. It's an all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Featuring the international reggae dancehall singing sensation stage boss, Wayne Wonder. To mash up the stage alongside the General Super G for the first time in Belize, Steely Bashman, plus Belize's top DJs. Get your general tickets for $60 and VIP for $150 at Madisco, Stone Music Outlet, and VIP Wireless. And lock the date for the official Belizean Jamaican Link-Up all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sponsored by
The Concerned Belizean Women is back with our dynamic fundraiser and pageant, Miss African Queen 2026. Come out Saturday, May 30th at 8 p.m. at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts and experience the elegance, the excellence, and empowerment of our beautiful daughters of Africa. Tickets are available from the contestants and at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. So come out and celebrate and remember your African heritage and experience a fun-filled evening of music, dance, and entertainment as you witness the crowning of Belize's very own Miss African Queen 2026.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
This morning, just after 10, multiple vendors were moved from the street across from the Michael Finnegan Market. Police officers were called on them and the cops told them that they couldn't sell their produce anymore. According to the vendors, they have not been able to get a space inside the market, and that's why they set up across the street. Today we spoke with one of the vendors, Neri Chavez, who said that he travels miles daily to sell and earn an income for his family.
Vendo vegetales, frutas y vengo de la Mía 21 yendo para Belmopan.
I sell fruits and vegetables, and I come from Marathon 1 on my way to Belmopan. But now the problem is that the other market doesn't want us to come here. They only want the Mennonites to sell here. They sell wholesale, but they're always selling retail. They don't want to give us the opportunity to sell, only on Saturdays, but we can't support our families or our children who are studying. So we came this Friday and Saturday. But every time I set up on this side, they always move me. Now they told me to set up on this side, and now they're moving me again, and they don't have a place to work. Well, the solution for us is that they let us sell here for about 3 or 4 hours on Tuesdays and Fridays. At least that's something. During the week or days, that would be the solution. But there's no one to give a solution to the problem. This is my job. This is how I support my family. I have 3 children. One is in school, another is in primary school, and the youngest is just 3 months old. I'm the sole provider for the family, and we would like the city council to perhaps take up the matter and allow us to continue selling. Because you aren't taking anything from anyone. We are working honestly without stealing from anyone. We're just workers trying to support our families.
And in other news, Senator Glenfield Dennison says he will be suing the police department after he felt he was unlawfully detained and publicly humiliated during a tense encounter with officers on Saturday at the Taylor's Alley checkpoint. We reported on it last night, but Dennison explained that after officers checked his license and insurance, one of them allegedly snatched his driver's license from his hand and began recording his information despite his objections. The situation escalated when officers requested additional documents, including the vehicle title, and called for backup after he began recording the interaction on his phone. According to Dennison, multiple officers surrounded his vehicle in the state of emergency zone, leaving him feeling intimidated, embarrassed, and fearful as bystanders watched the confrontation unfold. He argued that police exceeded their lawful authority by continuing to detain him without justification for requesting his vehicle title, something that is not required by the law unless they have reasonable suspicion. He spoke with us today.
I just want the people of Belize to understand that whenever you're engaging at a traffic checkpoint, the question of your freedom of movement is live. Your constitutional freedom of movement is currently being breached at every checkpoint. The question is always whether or not the breach is justifiable, whether it's reasonable in the circumstances. So that's because you have to comply with the license and the insurance and the driver's license, because the law is very clear that you must produce those when you are asked by any police officer in uniform. So comply with those things, but that's where the line of reasonableness is drawn, unless they see some crime occurring. So in the interaction, if you're not wearing your seatbelt and they observe that, then it's reasonable for them to continue the detention, for you to get a ticket for the seatbelt or to have that sort of discussion. If they smell the aroma of marijuana in your car, then they have a reason to pull your car over to do a search. It's all a question about whether they had a particular justification in law to now request further detention of you. And I say that the requesting of my documents to record it is an unjustifiable use of that breach of my constitutional right. And so is requesting the title.
Dennison says that what happened to him shows a greater trend of ignorance on behalf of the police department. For the issue to de-escalate, one of the senior officers recognized that he was a senator, and Dennison believes that this shows what can happen to the average Belizean. When we asked him if he fared the worst, he said this.
I'm sure they would have had me on the cement. They would have pulled, that officer was so aggressive, I'm sure he would have pulled me out of the car. That's what I way under, sir, because really and truly, like, this nonsense has to stop.
Do you believe that the Belize Police Department, some members of it, the younger members per se, that they're not equipped to deal with certain issues, especially when it comes to traffic violations?
I think there's just a ignorance of the laws and the regulations and how they're to apply, and the difference in the regimes for the thing that they can require. Right? I have it on good authority that they're being told at training school, see, there's a law that says you're supposed to have the title, So you could ask them for you. And I want to suggest respectfully that that's a wrong application of that section, especially when you look at how the regulations make it clear on when you're supposed to produce certain things. So the chapter 231 that speaks about the insurance certificate is explicit that you are required to produce it when asked by any officer, right? In the chapter 230, if you are required to show your driver's license, you must produce it. That's explicitly stated. There's a requirement to have a license, and then there's a requirement to produce one when asked. Same with the insurance. There's a requirement to have insurance, and there's a requirement to produce one when asked, right? The drafters of those regulations and law are very clear on the things that are being required to be produced. Certificate of title is not one of those things. Why would you have a certificate of title in the car at all times? If I had to humor a guess, the law says if you don't have the license plate, remember you have a requirement to register the car, right? Proof of that is a certificate of registration, what we call title. The law says if you don't have your license plates, there's a presumption that your car is not registered. So if police at a checkpoint see somebody without license plate, by all means ask for the title. Ask for the title because the person have to show that the car is registered. Ask for it. If you look at the insurance sticker and there's no license plate number displayed on the insurance sticker, ask for the title so you can verify that this car is the VIN number is the same VIN number as the vehicle, has the same VIN number on the title. Ask for it in those circumstances. If you have information that a car was stolen that fits the description of the vehicle in front of you, traveling the direction that you have information the car was traveling in, ask the driver to produce the title.
And after watching the videos that were recorded, many in the public believe that Dennison operated from a place of entitlement when interacting with the officers. He acknowledged that today.
One of the comments yesterday after we did our story was that you were entitled, you were acting entitled at the checkpoint. What's your comment to that?
Yes. I'm not proud of it, but I was frustrated. I was in fear that the young people would deal with me stiff. And that was my response, to say to the young police officer, check on yourself, because how somebody going to act like that and be wrong? And I'm telling you, I could only have had that position because in my heart, I know I don't call the commissioner of police. Who else could do that? I don't call the commissioner of police and say, listen, I'm being unlawfully detained at the checkpoint. So in my mind, something will happen to de-escalate the situation. So yes, I was rude to the police officers. Yes, I'm not proud of what I did. But I think if that confrontation yields to public knowledge on their rights and the interactions that they can have with police, then I am willing to take whatever fallout comes from that interaction.
Will you be taking any legal action against the police?
Oh yes, department? Of course. In fact, at previous Senate meetings, I've already told the Attorney General that they've been doing me this, and that the next time it happens, I will sue. So yes, I've already instructed counsel.
What is the main message do you think can come forward to Belizeans, especially when addressing their rights when it comes to motor?
The same message I had in the Senate. Get an objective view on the situation by recording. You see, Jaliza, because we were recording, I can't come here and tell you I wasn't being entitled. Because that's what the video shows. Uno alan today. like how much more entitled that I could, like I tell you I know the law better. Like, yes, I did that. And so I can't come pretend like I didn't scream at the police. I did. but there's an objective recording of it, so everybody can see everybody's actions, right? So my advice remains the same. Let's just start recording all interactions with police. If your family members are being detained and you don't like it, stay from a safe distance and turn on your cell phone. Don't interfere with the police work, but capture the video, capture it from several angles. Because I am telling you, my recording was a force equalizer on that ground Saturday morning. There were 6 police officers there when I started to record the last video. I think if I wasn't recording, they would have pulled me out of the car already.
But despite acknowledging that his attitude may have been entitled, Dennison is prepared to take legal action against the Belize Police Department for the breach of his constitutional rights. And while Dennison agrees that any money the government pays out ultimately comes from the public purse, he said maybe after losing so much money, they will train their officers better.
Too expensive, but my rights being breached have nothing to do with feeling sorry for the government for having to pay for it. I'm on record saying, breach them guys' rights in the SOE, have to pay them money, because fundamental rights work like that. Like, no matter for who writes your breach, you have a social contract that is created in the Constitution. So once that social contract is broken, you must be compensated. And the way you're compensated is financially, sadly. So that's not a consideration for me, like feel sorry for the government because the public money won't come. That's not a consideration for me. That's a consideration for the government, for the people who are enforcing the law, to train their people properly so that if they were investing in training, they wouldn't be paying fees for breaches of abuse. So I don't even want that question. That's not for me. Any citizens whose right is breached deserves to be paid. Like the clips are live in the Senate where I've said it under the continuous SOE past 30 days and the guys have not been taken before a tribunal as a breach of the Constitution. They will be entitled to compensation. I said it. So I maintain that position. If your rights are breached, you're entitled to money. If the government doesn't like that position, train your people so you stop breaching people's constitutional rights, then we have a better country. Both things can be true. They're not me to consider, but feel sorry for the government. No.
Yesterday you heard from PC Louis Pascasio's attorney David McCoy, who believed that his client was being unjustly charged for aggravated assault. This is after an incident between Pascasio and another cop, Jose Mejia, which occurred when Pascasio ran a red light on Saturday. This led to an altercation during which Pascasio was injured. Today, Pascasio, who is being represented by attorney Oscar Salgado, was read a single charge of aggravated assault upon a police officer in court. In court, Pascasio pleaded not guilty, and there was no objection to bail, which he met. He's due back in court on July 30th. After the break, we'll tell you about a case involving a strip of land on Coney Drive and whether the Belize City Council erred in leasing the road reserve. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Champion security, champion security, champion security. Yeah. Your security is our business, so we gonna protect you like a champion, like a champion.
Guess what, Mr. Handsome? Yeah, over there, champion security, gate operator, biometric lock, and alarm system. Champion security. Make a go check out where they go on inside of champion security. And boy, nice to meet you, my brother. Tell me a little bit more about Champion Security.
Well, welcome, Mr. Hanson. Here at Champion Security, we offer fire system, alarm system, camera system, gate operator, access control, and also trilogy locks and magnetic locks. Everything you need to do with security systems for residential and businesses, you could find everything here at Champion Security. We also consist of 12 technicians, and we offer technical support 24 hours. So anything you need for your security systems, you could find everything here at Champion Security.
Remember, guys, here at Champion Security, we live by our motto, where safe stay is our business. Give us a call now. Don't forget to check us on Facebook, Instagram, and all the social media platforms. And continue to shake it to the max all the way. Champion Security, the best place to be. We care for your safety.
You wanna rent it? That's not a problem. We got remote gate.
All your special moments deserve a special place. Book now and save 50% on accommodations and 20% on spa. Only at Naya Resort and Spa.
Today marks a major milestone for future education in our community. This building is more than concrete and classrooms. It is a symbol for hope, progress, opportunity, and strong belief that our young people deserve the very best foundation for their future.
The scope of works of this project included the construction of 8 classroom spaces, office spaces, bathroom facilities for male and female students, as well as restroom facilities for male and female teachers, along with storage rooms and a janitor's equipment storage room. Additionally, covered stairwells were constructed to provide access from the ground floor to the first floor, and an access ramp was installed to ensure accessibility for persons with disabilities.
Today is a proud and meaningful day for the people of Corazon Creek, for the Toledo District. This facility represents hope, not only for the students of Corazon Creek, but also for the young people from the 16 surrounding buffer communities that this school will serve and will continue to serve. It reflects our shared belief that no matter where you come from in Belize, you deserve access to spaces that allow you to learn, grow, and succeed. Let this school stand as a symbol of what is possible when we invest in people, communities, and opportunity. Together, we are building more than infrastructure. We are building futures. We are building hope, and we are building a stronger Belize.
Nokche Adventure Park came about from the birth of COVID. Everything was on pause for tourism. So we decided, let's do something different. We got 10 bikes, 10 ATVs, and we were just doing ATV tours. Shortly after, we were approached by the cruise lines. We agreed to work with them, and from then it just started growing. We set up the chocolate tour first, and then from there we went into the culinary experience with the different Mayan cultures. We have the gift shop, the cooking class, the shaman, and the healing, and it just all came together. When you reach a certain point, you need investors, you need partners to come into your business. Atlantic Bank just make it easy. Even my 7-year-old could do it.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Look here, your kitchen light there, and you've been in the kitchen. But I'm going back in there right now. And the coffee maker? Just to try to keep my coffee warm for later. What do you do now? I'll try to think about what to eat. You know, the more you open or close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool. Uh-huh. For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You charge your phone right now? No. Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 Lee socks and 1 Lee shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC the blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The High Court has ruled that the Judicial and Legal Services Commission must pay the legal costs of election reform advocate Jerry Enriquez, despite his case being dropped. Enriquez originally took legal action against the commission following what his attorneys described as a deafening silence after he filed a formal complaint against sitting judge Tawanda Hondora. Although the commission eventually dismissed his complaint, Mr. Enriquez pushed for them to cover his legal bills. He argued they kept him completely in the dark and ignored pre-action rules requiring open communication. The Commission and the Attorney General fought the request and hired costly private senior counsels to do so, claiming Mr. Enriquez was simply too impatient. However, in a judgment that came down today, High Court Judge Marta Alexander sided with Enriquez, ordering the Commission to pay his costs. In her judgment, Alexander firmly rejected the Commission's defense, stating, quote, "The non-compliance is not a minor infringement and its impact on Mr. Enriquez was serious, leaving him in an unnecessary state of lull and uncertainty. It caused him to incur the unnecessary cost of filing the application." Today, the Rotary Club of Belize Sunrise handed over 30,000 Belize dollars to the Inspiration Center to continue supporting its outreach program. We spoke to the president of the Rotary Club about how they selected the Inspiration Center for this donation and how the funds will be used.
We're very honored and grateful to be able to partner and work along with the Inspiration Center. We donated today a check for $30,000 Belize. And the proceeds, or this donation came about from one of our recent fundraisers in that we were on the show here to talk about Passport and Pores in February, and we're in May. Well, we're closing off the month of May, and so it took a little while to do the handing over, primarily because Rotary International, there are certain protocols and guidelines that the Rotary clubs need to follow that align with Rotary International, and one of those is accountability and transparency to start with, and as well to ensure that our donation or impact is sustainable. So when we were looking for a cause or a project to work with this year, the Inspiration Center was one that was proposed to us. And to get on board and to support, we invited the membership of the club to make that decision. And in so doing, we were welcomed to do a walkthrough, several walkthroughs at the Inspiration Center to see exactly what it is that they do on a daily basis and on a weekly basis when they go to rural communities. So we had that hands-on approach during the needs-based assessment, as well as being educated onto how they help children in rural communities through their outpatient clinics. I can name Valley of Peace as one example that they go to alternate Saturdays to do therapy with children with disabilities in those communities. So this $30,000 to make sure that there's sustainability, we asked, and there was a lot of communication between management and the board of directors of the center as to what are the primary needs of the NGO to continue serving our children in Belize. And of course, there are many, but the most urgent is equipping the clinic with computers so that they can manage their database of their patients, as well as for the nurses and the therapists that go to the rural communities to take out those files and records out there, and to also procure equipment that will help in screening for audio or hearing impairments.
In 2019, the Belize City Council leased a portion of the road reserve in front of Ethel Thompson's property on Coney Drive to one Mary Flowers. After Flowers opened a restaurant known as Gwen's Kitchen, number 2, Thompson was never informed nor consulted, and that prompted her to take the matter to court, and last week the court ruled that the lease was invalid and awarded damages against the City Council. These were for breaching Thompson's right to protection of the law and right not to be arbitrarily deprived of her property. Thompson's attorney Magali Marin Young explained more via Zoom.
In the High Court, Justice Lisa Schumann presided on this matter. And we had, after learning that subsequent to the lease by the City Council, we also joined the Attorney General and the Minister of Natural Resources to seek to invalidate the title. So the court at first instance found that, in fact, when the Minister of Lands sold the road reserve to Ms. Flowers, that in fact it did breach Ms. Thompson's right not to be arbitrarily deprived of her property. But the judge refused to find that when the City Council had previously leased it in 2019, that it was unconstitutional and that it was in breach also of Ms. Thompson's fundamental rights not to be arbitrarily deprived of her property. So we appealed that decision because even prior to the issuing of freehold title, the City Council had deprived the use, the ability for Ms. Thompson to freely traverse the road reserve to access Coney Drive as a frontager, meaning a title holder who owns land that is bounded by a road. She found, the judge at first instance found that the issue was academic and had been overridden by the freehold title. And we said, we tried to convince her that, look, even for that period, 2019 to when the title was issued, there was a deprivation. And a remedy should be awarded in Ms. Thompson's favor against the City Council. So the Court of Appeal recognized that the City Council, in addition to the state, was also liable for that deprivation.
The Ministry of Agriculture, in partnership with the Mexican Agency for International Development Cooperation, has launched a week-long training program on reproductive technology in livestock. The sessions are set to take place at the Central Farm Office in the Cayo District, bringing together Extension officers, UB Farm Field Techs, and representatives from the Belize Livestock Producers Association. Participants will spend the next few days learning about integrated forage management, nutritional conditioning of regional livestock to enhance productivity and capacity building to reduce inefficiencies in cattle and small ruminant milk and meat production. The program aims to contribute to the long-term resilience of Belize's agricultural sector. And that's all we have for you on our newscast for tonight. Thanks for watching. With your news, I'm Indira Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook page. Have a great night. Join me back here tomorrow at 6.